Hi, everybody. Let me have the idea that not everything is as it should be. Okay. For some reason, I think my mic is picking up sounds from my neighbors, which is a shame, but okay. Back to normal mode. Oh, hello. It has been a while. A lot of things happened during New Year's and the past few months, which kind of made it hard for me to come back to this project for a while. But I'm back now. Mostly because I figured I need to come back to it before I entirely forget what I was doing. So, I can't even remember what I did the last time. I think I blended the seasons a bit. Because if you can see it, this is a blend between winter and spring. Because I see a little bit of flowers, and when it goes down, the branches are a bit translucent. And the translucency we brought in there for the winter and fall, maybe, I think. I am going to put up the light in the room a bit higher. So that when it comes to the brightness. But that also brings up another issue that I don't think I have implemented in here, which is light sensing. Eventually I might want to put in a light sensor somewhere, maybe somewhere at the top, with the idea that when it's dark in this room, the lights on here will also be dimmed relative to the light in the environment. So if it's very bright, it will put up the lights 100%, and when it's like totally dark, it will go to 50% or maybe even 25%. That's something we'll just have to test later. But not something we're going to do right now. I think for now we'll start looking through our code again to have a look-see of what I did and what I was planning, and maybe I can optimize the code a bit, and also do something with the purple, that it switches to purple. It's not a good look, and I had an idea for it, but for the life of me I can't remember what it was. I think it's something to do with looking at the RGB values separately, but I think that's what I'm already doing. But yeah, let's jump into the code. And I do have my notes. Add season changes to ground. I think I already done that. Right? Yeah, we had already done that. Make a fade function. That is a good one. That's the one we must remember for the optimization, is that we have a lot of fades in our code, especially if we look at things as sky. With the sky, we're doing like a fade for it. With the ground, fading from seasons is also a fade. And is this the sky? Making the numbers? No, it's not what we're looking for. Setting the sky. So you have these very long, and if you've been here from the start, you know that this piece of code, I had like 5 repetitions of it. I was able to kind of consolidate it down to this. But I was also wondering if I could make a simple function in which I would do the fade. Because right now, I would grab the fade percentage, the starting color, and the color it needs to fade into, and kind of like do the calculations twice. Yeah, twice. So if I could do that in one thing. Because right now, this is like a color. I'm wondering why I'm doing it in 2 steps. I must have had a good reason for doing it this way. I just can't remember what that reason was. Oh, it was a multiple fade, right? I had a fade like going from top to bottom. That was going on. And I had another fade going on from the next day. Which was also a fade. Yeah, I was doing 2 fades at the same time. It won't be this one. No. This is what we would exchange for a fade function. But now that I look at it, I think I already came to that conclusion in that it will not make this line shorter, because what I have selected will still be like an argument that needs to go inside the function for it to make the fade. If that makes sense. However, I could put a function inside a function. In the sense that I'll do it double. Okay, I'm using a fade for the sky. Let's see. I'm doing that for the ground too. I'm not doing it for the sun. I'm not doing it for the moon either. No. These are my color indexes. Was I not going to change this for simply putting in blank color? Can't remember. But yeah, season fade also goes into color fade is this color plus the fade, and then why isn't that bar here for all the time? It's just annoying. No. But when I look at this won't get much shorter though. Besides, except for that I can name season fade. I only need to name it once. Would that be worth it enough to actually do it? I can also change it up a bit to include this, that it will go through the RGB variants. That would make it smaller, then I don't have to include this anymore. So that would help. Maybe I should just do it to get back into it. Then we can clear up that and the one of the sky a bit. Shape of ground. Yeah, let's just turn it into a function. Let's grab this as an example that we're going to work with. And we just go to, we have the comp function here and the reset base function that we don't know, and the calculates cycle function. Oh, this is going to be def fade. Just gonna call it fade, aren't we? Shorter name. Say, oh, start color. And color. Percent. Okay, what is it going to return? It's going to return. It's going to return an array, isn't it? Because that's what we're aiming for, an array with 3 values in it. Red, green, and blue. I'm really doubting if I need to return it like this, though. But on the other hand, if I look at this, I wanted to say end color, but we already have that name as... Right. Okay, next. This should then be like start color, like that, right? That's correct, that's correct, that's correct. And so what I return actually is going to be end color. Equals 7. Okay. So this should be enough. Should we try it? Because we are going through the RGB. So I don't need to include the C anymore. And it would still work because it gives back an array with 3 values in them. And I input an array with 3 values in them each and a percentage. I'm scared. Because is ground the best place to try it? Okay. Ground color fade is a ground color. But this only happens if there is no... Oh, this happens if ground color fade is more than 0. So when the fade is active. If season is less than 2, let me have a look, see what I've set as... Alright. Season less than 2 would be the spring or summer. Most likely because autumn and winter have a see-through thing. Because right now, or else, which is right now because it's winter and spring, so it would go through this one right now. Else, if color count arranges... Why is there a fade in here? Oh. Color fade is not necessarily a fade. Oh, I'm gonna... Yeah. So, right now... It's running this one. Because we're in the middle of a fade. The season is winter, which is 3. So which is definitely more than 2. So it's going to run this one. Color count is in a range of 0 to 10. I can't remember what the color count was. Oh, right. What's the color count? But the color count is 1 through 10. And I think that's this, right? Because we have 9 colors. Cool. Okay. So that's why it's called color count, because it goes through the array. The arrays we set for every season, which is 9 base colors that we're going through. Okay, that's what's happening. It's going to go off that one for rain. Yeah. Oh boy. For this test, let's do it easier. We're going to go to another season. Let's go from spring to summer, which is season 0. Season 0, and we're going to set the fade to 0.5. And next season is season +1. If season is more than 2, which is 3, it should go back to 0. Yeah. Okay, so now we should no longer have that see-through bit. It should all be, yeah, okay. It seems to work okay. So now we should be in this range, which means I need less fiddling to get this to work. And let's start with this. I am going to keep my code, but I'm going to say fade. This is the start color. Right. And this one's going to be next. Yeah. And this one was going to be season fade. Cool. Block. Do I give them that? Oh. I wonder why isn't this turning into a function, but that's because I named the fade with a capital, which I should never do. You are a fade. So now hopefully it goes like, oh, I know what that is. That's a fade. And for now, I'm going to turn these two things. Can I comment them out? Wait, yeah. Okay. Are you going to work or are you going to break? It's going to break. Cool. Yeah. And color isn't defined in fade. No, it's not. I define it here. But that's not good enough. Okay. Fine. And color is Tulip does not support item assignment. Huh? What tulip? 381. 381. This one. Mm-hmm. Why does he think it's a tuple? I want to say tulip, but I know it's wrong because the L and the P are wrong. Point. But, I'm dyslexic. Tuple. Does he think this is a tuple, or is it another thing of it's something that happens earlier, but he only catches it now? Invalid syntax. Yeah, I know it's invalid. Maybe I should make it print return first. And I can see if it goes through this one. If it even goes through. I know color count is gonna go through. But I could ask for that one. That's wrong. 0.0. It's on the return. Something's happening on the return. Okay, so something's happening here. I know I put a clamp on it. Let's clamp it first. Okay, that looks more like what it's supposed to look like, and it's not supposed to have like be floats. It's supposed to be integers. So the clamp is doing its thing. It's making sure it doesn't go above this value and it doesn't go below 0 either. and that it's an int that's gonna come out of it. Which is good. But that is what I'm expecting to get back. So it is running through that. And it is getting it back. It's getting this back now. Which is not right, because this is supposed to be a color too. So there's something going wrong there too. But the first color is black anyway. So that's why it is 000, because it's black. Yay. Okay. This is black. Yeah, cool. What if I make it start at 1? Then it should skip the black and go to bark color. Which isn't a good comparison either, because the bark color in every season is the same. Oh man. But at least then we can see what it's doing. Yeah, it's giving that. It's giving that. Yeah, that tracks. So it is getting back what it's supposed to get back. It's not supposed to be a capital. Okay, the return is not doing all that great, then maybe. If I remember correctly. Most likely it's not going to work because it's going to say, well, it's a string, it needs to be a string. String implicitly. Fine. I don't like using this too much because it wants it to be a string. Will it work now? Or okay. It doesn't even get to here. This doesn't look like a tuple. So why is it acting like a tuple? Because most of the time you can put a string inside a string. That's what we're doing with ground. That's what we're doing with all this. As in, we give it a name and we put it in here. And if we just call it bark, it would go. Is that because this is a reference and not necessarily and it's not a scale thing either. Because I'm giving it back right away and telling them these values. So this value is this value. Needs to be stored here. Which right now is 2, which is the bark color. These are the frustrating bits. Okay, let me Google tuple again. Because it should be an array. Python has a set of built-in methods that can be used on lists or array. Because I've already looked up what the difference is between a list and tuples. You know, the difference is tuples are usually in normal brackets and not square brackets. Tuples are used to store multiple items in a single variable. Tuple is one of the 4 built-in data types. Yada 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 yada. These are the different ones. A tuple is a collection which is ordered and unchangeable. Tuples are written with round brackets. I am not using round brackets at all. Why is it thinking that I'm using round brackets at all? Because when I ask the value back, it's definitely not in round brackets. So which tuple? Let's just go and say Python. Makes make tuplets from list from array. Oh, the whole number thing. I don't have NumPy because I can't use it on this chip. There's an easy way to convert that to a tuple. I know that I could just loop through creating a new tuple. No. No, make tuple to array. Most likely it would go like, oh, then you need to have NumPy. I don't have NumPy. Explanation. Step 1, import the array module. Don't have it. Declare a tuple. Print it on the screen. Then use the array function. There's an array function. How can I convert a Python tuple to an array? Let's see what it says here. Cookies. No, I don't want any cookies unless they're edible. And then you go through the entire list and say confirm choice. Okay. Example. Blah blah blah. This will output blah. If you have a multi-level tuple and want a flat array, you can use the following. This is an explanation that list? No. But I'll do it anyway. Sure, we're gonna go for that one. Right, let me... Because if it already goes like, it's a tuple from this point, then I'll just say, I'll just do it here. No, it still thinks it's a tuple. Hmm. There was a command I could do to see what it was. Getting a data type. Let's just do that. Let's see what happens and say type end or go. Oh wow. It wants me to put that in a string too. Okay, sure. Class list? Class list? If it says that, the problem is not here. Because this already is a list. So, okay. So, I think this is another one of those, the problem isn't here where I say it is, but it's somewhere else. But I'm not going to tell you, so you have to kind of figure it out. Oh, of course it's not defined, because I'm being silly right now. Try that. List. So this is that the problem is somewhere else, but it's not going to tell me where it is. Am I forgetting a dot comma somewhere? Am I... What's going on? No. Sorry about that. I have two bunnies who are trying to destroy the carpet. Come here, you guys. Here. Some extra tasties for you to eat. Wish I could ask Yaravana to help. Though her Python isn't that great either, but... I'm gonna see if she... Let's see if she responds. Most likely I'm just doing something stupid and I can't see right now what it is. So let's go back to Fate and have a look, see if it might be something that I'm doing here. No, that's not what I want you to do. I am declaring end color as an array. Or list, whatever you want to call it. And definitely not as a tuple. Lists are used to store multiple items in a single variable. Blah blah, one of the 4 built-ins, blah blah. Lists are created using square brackets. Great! List items are ordered, changeable, and allowed duplicate values. List items are indexed. The first item has index 0, the second item has index 1, etc. Cool, we all know that. Changeable. A list is changeable, meaning that it can be changed, added, and removed items in the list after it has been created. Well, that's what we're doing most of the time. When we say that the list is ordered, it means that the items have a defined order, and that order will not change. If you add new items to the list, the new items will be placed at the end of the list. Allow duplicates. Since lists are indexed, lists can have items with the same value. Cool. I know. List item data types. List items can be of any data type. String, int, and boolean data types. Lists can contain different data types. A list with string, integers, and boolean value. I know. From Python's perspective, lists are defined as objects with the type list. No shit, Sherlock. It is also possible to use the lists brackets constructor when creating a new list. That's what we just tried to do. Just forcing it to be a list, but since it already was a list, it couldn't be forced. Okay. I really don't want to deconstruct it, but I think we'll have to. So let's do this in an order that will pain me just to figure out that I forgot a dot somewhere. So we're going to go with the RGB values that they're going to feed in one of the RGB value at a time. Which kind of defeats the idea, but we're going to go forward anyway. Okay. What that's going to do, let's go back to this one. And we have to put this one back in. Because we're going to use that one again. You go out. Go away. Okay. Let's just hold this one out for now. Or just delete it altogether. Right. And then we have to go C. We have to put this C back. And we have to put this C back. Invalid syntax at 9.2, which most likely is a fade. 9.2, cool. Yeah, what's the invalid one? Of course that doesn't work. Bleep. Okay. Okay, so it's working if I'm just shoving through one value to this thing, but what I want to do is actually do it with the entire array. But why doesn't it want to do it with the entire array? Well, not the entire array. I'm only doing it for one index in the array technically, but there are 3 values that are going to go through. So yeah. Optimize your code, I said. Would be good, I said. Now we'll go from there, I thought. Cool. Yeah, okay. So it is working as it's supposed to if I'm using just one value at a time. but I want the code to be better in the sense that I can make it shorter points. And let's have a look at how much shorter it got. It got somewhat shorter. By this much. No, I'm not accepting it. I just wanted to do what I think that it should be able to do. I should be able to send lists back. And it's not giving me any errors now. Okay. I'll just... Let's see if he starts arguing with me. If I do this. This should still work. Okay, so that wasn't the problem. I send arrays back. Don't I? Well, no, because with the clamp I don't send array back either. I return an int, not an array. Because I'm doing it for every color separately. Function returns tuple. Actually, it doesn't. We know that it doesn't, but you can return multiple values from a function in Python, so to do so, return a data structure that contains multiple values like a list. Okay, yeah. Like a list containing the numbers of miles. Yeah. Data structures in Python are used to store collections of data which can be returned from functions. In this article, Oop. We'll explore how to return multiple values from a data structure tuples, lists, and dictionaries. I really hate it when it is so slow. What's it going to do now? It's still running. Okay. Even though I kind of go like, oh. No, I just want to uncomment it because I want to see what it's doing. Okay, he's giving it back as an int. Even though I did create it as a list. It's easy to confuse tuple and list. Not from where I'm standing, by the way. After all, both are containers that store objects. Remember these key differences. Tuples can change, lists can change. I know! That's kind of the problem. I can recognize a tuple and a list, apparently, but this program can't. Because I'm giving it a list, and it's telling me it's a tuple, when it's definitely not. Okay. Would the clamp have the same problem? I don't know. Oh. I know the lights are off, so... Okay, this is working just fine. This is not what he's having problems with. This is not what he's gonna have a problem with either. It's a redundant cycle right now because he's just going to do it 3 times. Same thing 3 times. Okay. Is it maybe when they come in? Maybe. Let's do that one. Let's see what happens if I do that. And go like, I want to know what type start color is. Plus, if you're going to tell me that it needs to be a string, I'm going to be really angry with you. And when people say Python is so much nicer and so much easier, I will tell them no. It's not as easier as you think it should be. What are you going to give me now? Unsupported type for add type. It does want me to add this stuff, doesn't it? Okay, what do we got? We have int float. This is exactly correct. This is an int, this is an int, and that's a float. Okay. Let's get rid of the C's and go with that. List float. That is what I was expecting. To have a list float. List index out of range. Cool. It goes to list float, and it comes to this. And most likely it says list index out of range because I have none there. I only say that it is a list. I do not specify how much is in there. I knew there was a way to say it has like this much index. But we're coming back to the same code that I just used, and we're getting the same problem. Yeah. It's going, this is a list, this is a list, this is a float. Cool. This is a list. Is there a specific way to return a list? Save and exit, because cookies, blah blah blah, cheat sheet, no. Okay. A Python function can return any type, any object, such as a list. To return a list, first create the list object within a function body, which we did. Assign it to a variable, which I did, and return it to the caller of the function using the keyword return list. Cool. For example, the function code created a function that iterates overall appended in this list. Oh. Let's do it in a different way. I don't know if that will help, but apparently, well, right now, if I emptied it, it won't fill it up because you actually have to set append. That means adding to. So I shouldn't get the function anymore that is out of index. Can't assign to expression. Cool. Yeah. Can't assign to expression. Oh, this site is horrible. I'm using the append wrong, aren't I? The list append method, as the name suggests, appends an element X to the end of the list. Cool. So kind of needs to be like this. Cool. Let's give that a go. I still didn't expected it to work, but it works this way. Yeah. I really need to go to the bathroom for a sec. I will be right back and enjoy the music. Hi. Okay. I think I had the audio on, music on double. Hope not. Okay. Another thing, like I said, was that I think that it was not, the problem was not where the shell says it is. So I was thinking, okay, maybe there is a tuple in here that is causing the problem. But I don't think this is a tuple. I know that Season Fade isn't a tuple either. What's coming in on this end is not a tuple, but which shouldn't be a problem because we're actually reading from it, we're not writing back to it. Hang on.
It's steaming.
That's what we're changing, so... I think we found a tuple. Why the F are you and... Oh. Okay, these are the things that would make you cry. Okay, we found the problem. Cool. So, let's, for the fun of it, see how much I actually saved in... coding space, yay. I saved one line and this piece. Progress. Cool. Okay. That was frustrating, and that only took me how long? 1.5 hours. Sure. Okay, just yeah. Okay, let's clean up the fade function, I guess. I do need to indeed use the append more than what I do now. Then these are all doubles too, aren't they? But why am I putting them in brackets? This shouldn't be in brackets. Well, yeah. Well, the base I can't do it because... Actually, I could. Wait, I had reset base, right? Blah, 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 for width, for height, blah, blah. I could just say append. Well, this one should remain a tuple because it's not something that we want to change. But I would love to get rid of this because I think this whole thing is slowing my whole thing down. I think I'm going to put that on my list too. Okay. I'll make a function to populate the base. And I can make that dependent on, you know, how. And it will just... Because I think for the sky, I actually made it in such a way that even if I would, like, put another, say, a similar plate next to it, it would automatically scale it for me. The ground is not going to work, though, because that's hard-coded. But the sky would work, and I think also the diameter would work. I think, maybe. I don't know. Eesh. Yeah. But that would get rid of this. That would be so nice, because now it just takes so much space. And it slows down this whole program so much. But we have a fade function, and we should use it on other stuff. So let's finish the ground first, because that's the one we had already started with. I'm also thinking, can I just also say append here, though? Because it's going to go through it anyway. It's going to go through it 10 times. Well, let's try it. Say append. I'm gonna do that. And then we have to empty these though. Because that is what that's going to append. Oh no, it's not gonna work because it's going to get me into trouble. Yeah. That's not what I was expecting to happen, but no, because append keeps adding on and it's not going to replace. So it is going to add up to it the first time, but it will keep adding up to it, which is not what we are looking for. This is going to Wait, this is going to go through the 3 colors all by itself. Which shouldn't be that much of a problem though, because here we said append. But we can make this scalable. We can make this scalable. By saying length of list, right? List method. No. This is where am I going to look for that? You have. Is that an operator? No, it's not. Gosh. There is a shortcut that you can use to say length of list. And it's usually used in loops. That it goes through a loop as many times as there are items in a list. So that's what we can do. Say like from 0 to... Pens. Ain't Google grand. You have append, you have extend, you have insert. Oh, come on, it can't be that. Okay, I think this is correct. I don't know if it is going to work. Let's see if it still works as how I put it right now, and it seems to be working just fine. Cool. Okay. So here we're going to say fade. Yeah, that's basically what's happening here. Okay. So this is only going to trigger if it's a season that's above 2. So let's go for it and say this is winter. And see if it will break. Yes, it will break. Okay. This goes okay, this goes okay. and it breaks on 454. 454. You break here? Oh, I threw a clamp on here too. Oh, okay. Unsupported type on float. Let's see. If you try to subtract a string from an integer, you receive an error like type error unsupported operating types, string and int. List and float. How far did it get though? Let's have a look-see. How far did you get? All lists so far. I think this is, he gets stumped the moment it's no longer a list. It should be running this one. Yeah, it's still going, still going, still going, still going, still going. What's changed at this point? Because this seems to be working just fine. Okay, so when it starts, it hits this. It goes to this. However, what I find strange is that it... Yep, I see the problem. Or at least, I think that's the problem. Because we're trying to put 3 values into this. That's not gonna work. It's supposed to throw it out as integers. Yeah, int float. Cool. Still going, goes once. Type int has no length. Okay. So in fade. Because I want it to work also if it's an int. Okay. So len doesn't work for something does not work for an integer. Cool, good to know. So if start start color can I say is integer? Else it might give me an index error, but we'll see. I know int has no length. Okay. So most likely this isn't working. Check whether a variable is an integer or not. How do I check whether a variable is an integer? This is telling me of the different methods mentioned here. Apparently, it's not the easiest thing. You can always convert a float before calling this method. There's a method called isInteger. Okay, sure, we'll use that one. Apparently, That should do the trick. Does not. Int object has no attribute is integer. Thank you, Google. Let's go to other one that's more reliable. In Python, you can check if a variable is an integer using the isInstant function. The isInstant function can take two arguments. The first is the variable you want to check, and the second is the type you want to check against. In this example, variable x is set to 5, which is an integer. Okay, let's have a look, see what that means. And of course, I need to go through all the cookies again. Just no legit interest or whatever. Just no to everything. Okay. Let's just copy paste this stuff and see what will happen. Okay, and we put color in here. And it will check against it, and if it is an integer, it will go through, and if it isn't, it will not go through. And it goes through. It actually goes through pretty nicely. And it goes through as an integer. Cool. So we did a kind of catch-all in a sense. So yeah, cool. And you can see that it's throwing it back as an integer because it recognizes it as an integer. That is nice. So it means even if I just want to fade one value, I can actually do that. Cool. Okay. Let's get that one out. So that's working. And now that fades just fine. Do we have any more fades beside this guy? And throwing clamp over it twice isn't going to be much of a problem. Because clamp is only meant to, if it's a float, which it isn't anymore, and if it's between 0 and 225, which it will be because it already been clamped, so if the second clamp shouldn't change the value at all. So I'm not that worried about that. All right. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking at this. Oh, different colors of the sky. And our fade through. But the thing about it is, here we have clamp again. And I do want to have the clamp at the end. But because we're doing a fade here twice, I don't want to clamp it before everything is added together. So maybe I should remove clamp from the fade and put it back here. But then it becomes longer again. Oh no. That's not gonna, because I just said the clamp will come over it again in here as it goes through here. That fixes my problem and it anyway. So it'll get clamped here anyway. Okay, then we can just remove the clamp here. Does mean most likely it will go through and give me floats instead of integers. Yeah, it'll give me a float, but that's fine. As long as it gets turned to an integer before it gets drawn on here, it doesn't really care if it's an integer or a float. So yeah, I can remove it here too. Yeah. Bloop. There we go. Okay, so let's recap. I spent almost 2 hours creating a fade function in my program that will only slightly help. But yeah, okay. Fine. We haven't gotten to the sky. We did do the ground, which was cool, and we kind of made it scalable at the same time, so even if it isn't an RGB value that comes in but only one value, it will still work. It will automatically switch over to something else that would work, so that's good. I thought functions would also have a different color in the program, but apparently not, which is a pain, but it's fine. So it was nice diving back into the program again and figuring out that I haven't forgotten everything that I did. But yeah, so we're gonna leave it at that for now. As always, if you guys see something or have tips or suggestions, please let me know, so I can work with that, and any help is very much appreciated, because yeah, as you notice, I struggle a lot with programming. It's not my forte, and hopefully I will get this thing done soon. I still have to think of a few still have to do a few tweaks here and there, but mostly it's here. It's working, sort of. And I need to find a better way to put it, let it light up. But yeah, that's for later. So I hope to see you guys back next time so that you can help me out. And have a nice day.